morning. Did you know that NRUMC has a congregation of 1,600 members? That's a lot. Even with the dedicated, wonderful pastoral staff we currently have, it is not possible for them to personally care for all the members who are homebound, in the hospital, grieving, hurting, or otherwise needing Christian care. Stephen Ministry expands the care North Raleigh can offer by equipping our members to provide Christian care. I am a Stephen leader for our congregation, and one of my main responsibilities is that of coordinating the training class for new Stephen ministers. If you've been here for any length of time, I'm sure you've heard Pastor Duke say he wishes everyone in this congregation would take the Stephen Ministry training class. That statement alone always puts my anxiety level at an all-time high, even though I know he is absolutely right. Our pastors certainly care for our congregants during their immediate crisis, but their time is limited. Stephen ministers are often called the after people because they are there. After you come home from visiting your husband at the hospital and know that they are nearing the end. After the phone call you hoped you would never get. After you arrive home from the funeral service and the emotions you've held at bay come crashing in on you. After you've washed and returned the last casserole dish. After your family and friends have heard your story one too many times, but you still need to talk about your loved one. In our classes, we teach our prospective Stephen ministers how to care for these individuals in a non-judgmental way, while continuously showing compassion, patience, courage, faithfulness, and trustworthiness. All skills and qualities that are so valuable in our everyday life when dealing with our children, our spouses, our coworkers, and our friends. One of the classes that I teach is the art of listening. My husband Roger finds this to be hilarious because apparently I may be able to teach it but must not be the best at putting it into action in our own household. But I do keep trying. Occasionally, when we are in the midst of a conversation or trying to make a wise decision, he will stop and say, "You're using that Stephen Ministry thing on me, aren't you?" You see, when we teach the art of listening, I teach the candidates how to make their care receiver feel like they are the absolute most important and only thing that matters to me at that point in time. I teach the value of silence and not to fear silence, as that is when we both get to listen to what God might have to say. I teach that we must be quick to listen and slow to speak. I teach them active and reflective listening, skills they will value for a lifetime. Listening is just one of 20 modules that we teach. Among other things, we teach assertiveness, boundaries, confidentiality, mental health, grief, depression, and suicide, just to name a few. I've often said that we as Stephen ministers are blessed through our training and our experiences with our care receivers so much more than the people for which we provide care. During one of my caregiving experiences, we agreed to meet in a park, a beautiful park with many trails and paths. After a couple of meetings, my care receiver suggested we might take a walk. We soon began walking the trails each week during our meeting and found we were walking 3 miles during the hour we met. When we both agreed that she no longer needed my care, I said this relationship has done more for my health than anything else, and would she mind if we continued to walk together as friends? And now, a year later, we still hit those trails every week. I gained better health, a lasting friendship, and a walking buddy. A Stephen minister is a person with the gift of mercy who shows compassion and gives encouragement to and intercedes for those he or she cares for. A Stephen minister's job is to walk beside another person as that person works through his or her struggles. A Stephen minister brings stability, prayer, and Christ's love to the care receiver situation, while at the same time maintaining absolute confidentiality. Everybody benefits from Stephen ministry. Those receiving our care because they receive prayer and support through the crisis they face. Stephen ministers themselves benefit through the spiritual growth they experience from being involved in a meaningful ministry. Our pastors benefit because caring ministry at our church is expanded and fewer people will slip through the cracks. Most of all, you benefit from the knowledge that special care is available to you should you need it. We are currently soliciting applications for a new class we have starting at the end of January. For planning purposes, we really need those applications in by January 6th. Now, I ask, if you are a trained Stephen minister, whether active or inactive, would you please stand? Remember these faces. They are all around you. They are members of your Bible study, your Sunday school class, your circle group, the choir. We thank these servants for answering God's call for this ministry. Don't you want to be the next class of Stephen ministers here at NRUMC and join our family? Thank you.